Good evening and welcome to Pacific Viewpoint. Tonight we look into how we are going to protect ourselves from being scammed. Yes, that's right, scams.
A scam is some kind of scheme set up to trick people into giving away their money or giving away their personal information.
Some are new, others have been coming and going for years. Every year in New Zealand and around the world, hundreds of Pacific people, young and old, rich and poor, families and even Pacific churches lose their hard-earned money to scams.
The most popular scams that we're aware of are the lottery scams, where people are misled into thinking that they've won a lottery overseas, and also the computer virus scam, where someone rings you at your home and tries to get you to log into your computer, tries to get you to buy a software or put some information on your computer that ends up causing a virus into your computer system. Those seem to be the most popular ones.
Now, to help us protect ourselves against scams, we need to identify and have a fair idea of who they are, how they do it, and what is the government doing about it. Consumer Affairs have developed a system of red flags, if I can put it that way, to identify likely scams. It simply means stop and think about it before you act.
Try and buy yourself some more time. If they try and rush you, then that means something's not right. So, ask for a bit of time. If it is a real investment, then they should give you the time to look into it and give you all the paperwork about this opportunity.
Scam number 1, holiday vouchers. Sounds familiar? Now, this is a new one where people ring you up from Australia or overseas-based companies offering cheap holiday vouchers where discount airfares and cheap accommodation are sometimes hard to resist. You need to know that you are not going anywhere if you're booking over the phone. The problem is the vouchers cost around $250, but they're virtually worthless. If any discount holiday companies ring, be wary and save yourself a lot of stress by politely hanging up the phone. Also, do not give out credit card details.
Once you pay money over to a scam, it's very hard to get it back. If the scam is operating from overseas, New Zealand law doesn't apply to those countries, so you wouldn't be able to enforce anything against them. You could contact the consumer agency over in that country, but again, your money is gone. If it's a company operating in New Zealand, then if it's fraud, you've got your Serious Fraud Office, you've got the New Zealand Police, and then you've also got the Commerce Commission. So the Commerce Commission, they enforce the Fair Trading Act, which says that companies, traders cannot mislead or deceive you in any way. It is a matter of people understanding that if something is too good to be true, then it probably, it is too good to be true. And it's probably going to be a scam.
Scam number 2, bogus lotteries. We have received so many emails from friends and even people from our Pacific churches begging us to help our community stop buying into these scams.
The most popular scams that we're aware of are the lottery scams, where people are misled into thinking that they've won a lottery overseas. It's absolutely a scam, especially if you have not purchased a lottery ticket in whatever country this email is coming from. So the point of those emails is to draw you in and to also gather from you personal information. Once this scam operator gets your personal information, then they can use that for fraudulent purposes. They may even say to you, in order for you to claim your winnings, you need to pay an administration fee, which could be something small as $25 or something like that. But then if you add up all the $25 that are coming from how many thousands of people they've emailed, then you can see that that can be quite a money maker for whoever the scam operator is. Yeah. And the thing is, people believe them. People believe these scams. They believe they've won $1 million in a Spanish lottery that they never bought a ticket for and that they have never been to Spain. So some people, I think, are very gullible. and some are trusting, yes, but still, you know, if someone tells you you've won $1 million, it is a scam.
After that, you'd be asked for your contact details, personal details, and some may even ask for your credit card details. Don't you dare give them your details, especially your credit card details. They are bogus. Would I be able to retrieve or get that money back?
No way. No way. You won't be able to get that money back. I had one client who, got this. She got a letter, I think, in the mail saying she had won a lottery in Spain, and she was asked to pay an admin fee. She paid it. Then from there, the scam operator could see that this person was vulnerable, was going to give over money. So then they kept asking them for more money. So she kept sending money over, and then she was told that she had to fly to a certain country to pick up her winnings that were deposited in a bank account. So she did that. She called me from the airport and said, I'm about to go over. And in the end, I think she lost about $28,000
My goodness.
from this. And she never believed that it was a scam, right up until she was at the airport and rang me. And I said, look, it's a scam. You know, you're going to go there and there's going to be nothing. And sure enough, she went to that country, there was nothing. And there was no way she could get her money back because our authorities don't have any power in those countries.
What are some of the common schemes or scams that the Pacific people are more likely to fall into?
There are some schemes out there that claim to be investments, that claim to help you to buy a house, for example. And these kind of schemes, they may come to your door, you know, you don't invite them, they just turn up. So they go door to door, selling investment schemes into buying yourself your own house. Now, these kind of situations are a concern because if you are selling door to door, or if you're selling home buy investment schemes, you need to have a prospectus. There are certain things that you have to follow, and investment schemes, you cannot sell those door to door. It's illegal to sell investment schemes door to door. So a lot of our Pacific people are targeted or involved in these kind of home ownership schemes. And for those people, I think it's best that they see a lawyer straight away. There are some home ownership schemes that may work, but there are some that will close down within that 30-year period that they're saying that they're going to help you save up to buy a house. So what happens to your deposit then, you know, that you've put in their bank account all those years? So yeah, it's best for people to get some legal advice straight away if they are in a home ownership scheme.
Investment scheme. This is the one where some Pacific people and churches are caught up in, and I'd like to stay on this topic a little bit longer. What are the warning signs to investment schemes, and how are we going to protect ourselves against investment fraud and schemes?
Ponzi scheme, definitely it's a marketing scam. It's an investment that is designed to convince people that what they're putting their money into is going to reap a lot of money rewards for them, when actually it's just a fraudulent investment in the first place.
Fraudsters design these sales purges to push your buttons. They play on your hopes and fears to manipulate you and to make an impulsive, emotional, irrational investment decision. And if you fall for them, you could end up losing your hard-earned money and even for some people, their life savings. More than 2 Pacific churches we know of have ended up losing millions of dollars when they fell for one of the most common purchase scam of all, guaranteed high returns with no risk.
Double the interest what the banks were paying at the time.
18% for a year and a half.
And you'll get 12% interest plus all your money back.
His exact words to me was, Fran, there's no way in hell that you'll lose it.
The truth is, every investment that is high in return also has a high risk. So the higher the return, the higher the risk.
Yeah, they're very sophisticated. I mean, if you look at these Ponzi schemes, you know, there's layer upon layer of lies, of, different companies involved. And the way they operate is they just, if they can get a few investors in, a few credible investors involved, then that makes people think, oh, this could be credible. They get people in the community involved, leaders in their fields, and then they sell it that way. So very, very sophisticated schemes to kind of undo and unpack and, yeah.
Scammer artists often offer incentives that are hard to resist.
When we found out that he'd gone to Mexico and flew the coop, we knew that was the end of it.
Maybe 6 months, within the year, it was gone.
I never saw a cent.
I think it would have been better to leave it in the bank.
This is another red flag, tax-free offshore investment.
This money was going offshore. And he said, you don't have to pay any income tax on this money.
When they're telling you that your money is going to make all sorts of returns offshore, what that means is you're not going to get it back.
But the fraud victims lose a lot more than just money. They lose their confidence, their self-esteem, and more.
I was very embarrassed, and I didn't want my kids to know how stupid I was.
It can break up relationships. It can affect their relationship in a community. It can have devastating effects on your health.
It's broke our health. Well, I've had 2 strokes.
How can scam artists get you to trust them? They often use affinity fraud. They pretend to befriend you so they can take your money. They use all kinds of persuasions, including your friends, even leaders of your church or community. This is another red flag. This is another warning, because your friends and leaders can't be wrong in your eyes, or can they?
When I look back over some of these schemes, we've got the buyback scheme. That was back in the early 2000s, where families who own their own homes thought that they were just using their house as security for a loan when actually they had sold it. And when you look through those schemes, it was through a community leader that these families found out about, these deals. And so quite a few of these operators, they use community leaders, either through your church or through your community group, to kind of leech onto that leader's mana and use that as a way of recruiting customers for their schemes.
Fraudsters are coming in all shapes and sizes. In fact, they will take on a personality to try and prey on your vulnerabilities.
The scamsters are very, very shrewd individuals who are able to take on different personalities, be able to appeal to your sense of opportunity. They get to know you, they can befriend you.
And being a businessman in Kamloops and dealing with him, I trusted his integrity and who he was dealing with.
And being a senior himself and doing the planning for seniors, we thought he was okay.
If you're approached by your friend or friends, and it's a great opportunity, it is pretty difficult to say no. But do you know what? It's okay to say no. Now, if you're thinking this can't happen to you, you're too smart or experienced, think again. It can happen to anyone.
It's not just the greedy and the stupid. I would say by far and large, the people that I've come across that were taken in this were neither. They were smart people. They were quite sophisticated investors. They were seasoned business people. They were engineers. They were doctors. And they were even lawyers.
Why do we continue to fall for such schemes despite numerous warnings?
Yes, that's right. That's a good question, because a lot of our work at Consumer Affairs is about education and going out there and talking to the community about their rights and things to look out for. Yet people still, buy into these scams, and I think it's because some people are desperate, some people are vulnerable, some people can be easily exploited by some of these operators out there, and I think for some of our people we're very trusting and we believe when someone tells us they can help us and someone says that they have a way that we can make some money.
The truth of the matter is we've seen victims who are of all ages, male, female, young and old. It can happen to you. It can happen to any of us.
Even though I was licensed and have held a real estate license and done many, many deals, I was not able to sift through the BS of this company that appeared legitimate in every way and subsequently lost money with them.
So how can you protect yourself from an investment scam? The answer is?
The best way is to contact the Financial Markets Authority. Now that authority is set up through the government, and all financial advisors and financial brokers must be registered. So they must belong to, they must be registered as financial advisors. So I would advise people to have a look at this website, Financial Markets Authority, contact the authority, and also be very, very careful of people approaching you about making money, about these kind of investments and schemes. If they are not registered as financial advisors, then they shouldn't use whoever's making the approach to them. They shouldn't use them for any kind of business deal.
Protect yourself, invest right, watch for the warning signs, do your homework, find out what you can first. You can check the website of Consumer Affairs where you can learn more to protect yourself from being scammed and report scams, hopefully helping others avoid the same trap.